Hi, thought I'd do a quick little review of my latest tech purchase. As you can see by the box here, I bought myself a brand new external hard drive caddy from guys at icybox. Now they're the manufacturers of the two other existing external hard drive caddies that I've got. Now those two other ones I've had for a good few years now. They are both IDE or PATA based, so you know the technology inside has been replaced by SATA effectively everywhere. So I mean, my server, pretty much most of my systems now have got SATA ports on them. Most of my large hard drives are all SATA. The largest PATA one that I've got kicking around are the old 120s that I had inside of here. As you can see, if I can get the glare away from the monitor, I will have to reposition this camera. It's getting in the way of doing stuff, especially since it's got shiny metal inside. But yeah, it's still a nice little caddy. I've got two of them. I'm going to be keeping one of them. I'm going to be giving one of them away at some point in a competition, so keep your eyes peeled for details of that some point in the future. Now then, when I was basically looking to see if I can find anything that's SATA based and can replace those two, I had a look at various different models and eventually came to the decision on this one. A couple of things kind of swung it for me. Basically, the overall design, nice looking box. I can't fault it, although I can't really fault the old one. It's aluminium casing, so the plastic casing of my previous one, which means the heat from the hard drive is brought to the atmosphere quicker, which means it can operate a bit better. However, slight warning, steel does get really hot to the touch on the inside and it's warm on the outside, so be careful. And this is leading on to the main feature that I found to be quite cool with this. Now, it's basically a quick release system. Now, with these, basically I had to unscrew the outside chassis, take the internal part out, unscrew the internal part of it, and then additional screws that held the hard drive in place inside, which is a pain in the arse if you've got multiple hard drives and you want to quickly bung it in so you can check out without having to put it into a system and boot it up. This is primarily for hard drives that you're not going to be swapping around. The internals. It's designed for you to swap from machine to machine, but it's not designed to be swapped hard drive inside of the caddy too easily. Now this one has got a quick release mechanism on the front. Now here is a little hole. Now I didn't realise that it involved this, but it's got a tiny little poking key, so to speak, that you push through the little hole here. Now unfortunately, the little part that you're meant to be pushing against to release this isn't fully there. It's only partly. I don't know if this is just my model's a bit on the short side, so to speak again, or if this is a genuine design flaw, but you've got to poke around a little bit to find where it is before you can push against it. Otherwise it's just going to poke straight through and you're going to think, well, is mine broken? It isn't. Just keep on checking. You'll find it and you'll push against it and it will release like this. Now when you pull this out, it automatically hawks the hard drive out. Now be careful, this is still hot to the touch, so you'll need to be careful when dealing with it if it's been plumbed in for a while. This has only been in since early this morning, so we're talking about 12 hours, and this is really hot to the touch. So just be careful with that one. The best thing is no screws needed. Just slot the hard drive in and then force this closed. Now you're probably better off doing it this way, because if you try to close it like this, it can snap pretty quickly in and you'll trap your fingers on there, which hurts. Don't do it. Always try to see if you can put it in this way so that you're pushing upwards instead of putting your fingers in harm's way. You just push in and it'll click in, and then all you do is just plumb the power and then plumb in the data lead. Now another thing that's got an advantage over my two old ones is, the main one that I'll be using is USB. The unfortunate thing is, I do prefer Firewire specifically FireWire 800, but FireWire 400 is still better than USB 2, until the point we get USB 3, but that's still just a pipe dream at the moment. But not only does it have USB, but it has eSATA, which is basically the an external interface for SATA. So I can actually have this running natively as a SATA hard drive, which will give you better performance over USB, and you know, it means it's natively going from the SATA hard drive to a SATA bus on your machine, which loads of benefits for that. Now, eSATA is something you're going to be seeing quite a lot of in the future, so when you're looking for an external hard drive caddy, make sure, by all means, have the USB there. So practically every PC's got USB, it'll work with most of them. But if you get an eSATA, you're future-proofing yourself, and it's very much worth your while. Now, one of the best things that really put a smile on my face and showed that this company, icybox, definitely got their mind focused on the customer on this one, because whilst not every machine at the moment has got an eSATA port, it's quite rare. Cards that have got an eSATA, you know, an actual card that you plug into your PCI or a PCIe slot inside your PC, not all of them have got eSATA ports on the outside. I think it's about 100 quid for like the cheapest one you can get that I've seen on at least Scan. So it can be really costly for something that an extra card that you might not even need to use, to be honest. Now, they packaged this, which is a little bracket that goes into the same slot effectively as an expansion card, an actual SATA card that's got an eSATA port on it. But the thing is, though, it's got a little cable that'll plug straight into a SATA connector on your motherboard, or if you've already got a SATA card, it'll plumb into the port on the SATA card itself, providing you with a straight through eSATA port. Loads of thumbs up for this. I can't really explain just how great it feels to be able to open. It was a big shock. I was not expecting this to actually be in there. I was expecting, eSATA, I'd have to buy my own card. They've actually thought about the consumer on this one. Definitely a way to win additional customers. Big thumb up. I can't praise them enough for that. Now then, something that I noticed that's missing on this, compared to other caddies that I've experienced, is there's no status LED on this. There's no little lamp that tells you that it's on, and there's no little lamp that flickers to tell you that there's activity. Well, to be honest, I don't really see that as a problem. There's no point in the LED being there, it's just wasting electricity. It does have like an atmospheric LED on the bottom to give a blue little glow from underneath, which does look cool, but what they do give you is a little switch to turn that off, so you don't always have to have it running. You can have it, take it to a LAN party with you, switch it on if you want to, impress your friends or impress just random strangers at a LAN party. When it's time for night, for going to sleep, flick it off so that you're not interrupting anyone. Great that you've got bits that can, you can turn energy wasting parts of a system off. I do like that. So all in all, I mean, compared to this, which is a plastic outer chassis with an aluminium internal chassis, this is all aluminium straight through. So it'll take the heat from the hard drive, put it into the atmosphere far more efficiently than this does. Although, as I said, it's still rather hot in there, so be careful. It seems to be solidly built. It doesn't seem flimsy in the slightest. That's a little bit on the loose side, but it's got little screws underneath to tighten that up. I don't know how that's managed to get loose, but beyond that, it doesn't look like it's going to fall over without you really knocking it. Transfer's been okay so far. I can't fault it. I'll give it like an 8 out of 10. I would recommend this. Beauty of it, main selling point, is the quick release mechanism. So you can just, because there's no screws, just pop that open, slot a hard drive in, close it, power it up, detect it in what operating system you want to use, because it uses USB and SATA effectively. No problem in Mac, Linux or in Windows, so it'll work across all them platforms. And it's very easy to be able to say you've got a stack of hard drives just sat on your desk. You know, you either want to check to see what's on it, or you're using it as just a stash of storage. So, I want to put in my anime hard drive, or I want to put in my video workings, because if you're doing your own little podcast and things like that, you can just slot that in, turn it on, and away you go. Lovely, lovely bit of hardware. Very, very happy with it. And as I said, it's retired my old boxes. Right, if you've got any comments or anything that you want to see on here, anything that you might have a recommendations that's better than this that you've encountered, pop over to www.pissheadnerds.com. Always willing to listen. See you later. Bye.